Hi guys, I'm Adam Wilborn from WhatCulture.
And I'm Andy Murray from WhatCulture, and coming up today I'm going to tell you all about Mike Tyson appearing at AEW Double or Nothing. I'm going to tell you all about the Leo Rush idea rejected by Triple H before Leo was released. And on top of that, I'm going to tell you all about the latest WWE release.
Plus, the Double or Nothing card is beginning to take shape. It's 9 days away now, and 4 more matches were added to it last night. Plus, WWE are bringing back a classic WWF pay-per-view. This is the news.
Let's kick things off by talking about Iron Mike, Jewel of the Iron Mike. He is back in wrestling to an extent. Mike Tyson, it has been announced, will release. What word am I looking for? Give? Pass? He's going to present. That's the word. He's going to present the TNT Championship to the winner of Cody versus Lance Archer at Double or Nothing next Saturday night. Big Mike, he's going to be in the house. This comes on the back of that video of him showing some really ridiculous and scary hand speed for a 53-year-old man. He's been talking about a fighting comeback, which is nuts. The guy hasn't fought in 15 years. Cody actually teased kind of linking up with Tyson a day or two ago on Twitter, posting that little shifty eye emoji thing that people like to use when they're being scamps. But yeah, Tyson's at the pay-per-view. Obviously has great wrestling history, done all these famous spots in WWE in the past, and I think this is going to be cool and fun and just another nice little wrinkle for what's lining up to be a pretty cool pay-per-view.
Yeah, Double or Nothing, as I'll get onto in a second, really shaping up and such exciting news. I can't imagine who's going to get chinned by Mike Tyson at that pay-per-view. Because let's be honest, I saw that clip too and I saw Joe Rogan's reaction to it and I thought, yeah, he's going to fight again, isn't he? And as a warm-up, he might, I don't know, drop Marco Stunt or someone like that. Who knows?
Imagine that! Marco Stunt flying across the ring. Oh my god.
But yeah, I mean, obviously, as you said, clear connotations to the past of WWF and just a nice thing to look forward to next Saturday. I'm slightly excited and also slightly terrified.
I'm very terrified. I hope he's gentle with whoever he inevitably punches. But yeah, it's cool to see, man. It's just adds another level of prestige, doesn't it?
Yeah, and those two aren't going to mess about, are they? Cody and Lance Archer. It's going to be an absolute bloodbath. Speaking of Double or Nothing, updating you on the card for next Saturday. Both Andy and I realised watching Dynamite last night, bloody hell, that's 9 days away. Yes, so we've obviously got some of the matches that you already knew about, like the AEW World Championship, the TNT Championship, but 4 more matches were added to the show last night. We had the Women's Championship match. That is Nyla Rose, who's going to take on Hikaru Shida after Nyla Rose just basically twatted her with a kendo stick backstage. On the pre-show, there is a buy-in pre-show match pitting Private Party versus Best Friends to determine the number 1 contenders for the Tag Team Championships. Also, as a result of last night's Fatal 4-Way, we're going to get Chris Statlander versus Britt Baker. More on her in due course. And the headline news coming out of last night's AEW Dynamite, a Stadium Stampede match. Matt Hardy, Hangman Page, Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks versus Chris Jericho, Sammy Guevara, Jake Hager and Proud and Powerful, aka Santana and Ortiz. What a match that is going to be, Andy.
Yeah, that's going to be ridiculous. I believe it's going down in the stadium that is the home of the Jacksonville Juicy Boys, which I believe is right next to Daly's place, or attached to it even. That's going to be mental. That's going to be absurd. A big empty arena brawl in this massive football stadium. DDT, to go on a tangent, forgive me, did a match like this actually a couple of years ago where they had Minoru Suzuki and Sanshiro Takagi in the empty Tokyo Dome, which was crazy enough. They're going to do some fun, creative things with this. I'm really looking forward to seeing how it comes out. And Nyla Rose versus Hikaru Shida was kind of the obvious match, but the right match and a good match. Shida is one of the best workers in the division. That segment last night between the two of them made me laugh like way more than it probably should have. It was just really funny when she pulled out the kendo stick and went whack. Yeah, man, the card's looking nice. I can't believe this show's only 9 days away, by the way. It's really crept up, hasn't it? But yeah, looking good to me.
Also, I don't know if this is official news today or just news to me, so I'm including it. The fact that the casino ladder match is going to have 9 men in it.
9 men, man. And they're entering on 90-second intervals as well. It's a crazy little gimmick, and they're going to have a little poker chip, apparently, that they can carry around and cash in for a title shot. Cool. I mean, yeah.
We did a lot of predicting when it came to Money in the Bank about crazy spots or crazy things you could see for that match. So I feel like we should do the same. Let us know in the comments stuff you're expecting to see, or hoping to see, I should say, in this Stadium Stampede match. Shout out to AEW shill Michael Sidgwick, who's already predicted something that I'm going to be really disappointed if I don't see, which is Kenny Omega moonsaulting off the football post.
Oh my god, if that doesn't happen, I don't know, probably just write a strongly worded tweet about it and then forget about it.
Yeah,
5 minutes later.
Same as the rest of us.
Let's talk about Lio Rush. Lio Rush is obviously out of WWE now. He seems to be out of wrestling entirely, moving on to a music career. Best of luck to him with that. His new album's out. Check it out if you wish. He tweeted yesterday this. Okay, look at this, right? He says, once upon a time, I had a vision of wearing a mask, but Triple H said, no, lol. This is just the prototype. Anyway, it's now for sale. Contact me on this address if you want to buy it. It's a fly. It's Lio Rush wanted to be a fly. Yep. That's the story.
I saw this last night on Twitter and just went, I love Lio Rush. He's a friend of the channel. But I think along with many other people who, granted, you know, he hoped that was the one, but don't worry, it's not. It's the prototype. He probably regretted making this, if I'm honest.
It's unique.
God, it looks horrible. Yeah, I'm not surprised Triple H went, no. I get it. Moth, Man of the Hour, all that sort of thing, but sorry, no, it's an L on this one for you, Leo.
But Lio Rush as well, he's got a good face, man. Why would you want to cover that thing up? It's nuts. Yeah, I mean, creative guy. Definitely a creative guy, but I'm not sure what he was going for with this.
No, exactly. And this isn't us shooting on him generally in wrestling. I really want him to come back to wrestling. We were talking just the other day about the fact that how good would it have been if Bobby Lashley had been put into a world title feud with Lio Rush as his mouthpiece. As much as MVP's going to service that perfectly, I think Leo's just would be spectacular. And he is sensational between the ropes too. So, you know, I'm not saying I hope his rap career is wiggle whack, but I'm hoping that he can do that as well as continue wrestling.
Me too.
Hope he doesn't get too crisscross about that. Right, let's talk about NXT last night, because we had a huge announcement coming out of there, and that is the fact that WWE are bringing back In Your House. Oh my God, we're getting NXT In Your House on the 7th of June. It was announced by Triple H. I was going to say Stephanie McMahon then for a second. I don't know why. A Freudian slip somewhat. Triple H, Shawn Michaels, and of course Road Dogg announced this last night. And already people have, including Michael Hamfler, of course, have been getting very excited. If they don't build the In Your House set, there's going to be a riot. And Johnny Gargano's already promised to do the Shawn Michaels spot on top of it.
Exactly. This is really cool. Like, there's no point whatsoever if you don't build the set. So you guys better build that goddamn set, or again, I will tweet you very moderately a little bit upset. This is really cool. I like this a lot. It ties into a couple of things. The 25th anniversary of the first In Your House back in 1995. Also, we are in our houses, as Triple H pointed out. So there you go. It makes sense. I believe the last In Your House was back in 1999, St. Valentine's Day Massacre, headlined by Vince McMahon versus Steve Austin in a steel cage. So hey, maybe we'll get William Regal versus Road Dogg in the steel. But we probably won't get that, but I'm looking forward to it. It's something different. It'll have a cool aesthetic, and I'm sure they will do a lot of fun creative stuff with it.
Yeah, I cannot wait for this. Paul White might show up if it's a follow-on to the St. Valentine's Day Massacre. Who knows? But God, it's just this and the Stadium Stampede match, just the announcements just blew me away last night.
Yeah, that's the best thing about this era, I think, is the wacky matches and the wacky shows. You know, a lot of it isn't as much fun, and we've spoken about that at great length. But hey, man, when a cool thing like this comes along, you got to be excited.
Plus, we were reported a while back about some. Was it an indie promotion? I can't remember off the top of my head. Someone was trying to use the In Your House logo and stuff like that. And we just thought, WWE just being gits and just saying, no, you can't play with our toys. But it now makes sense. So we should point that out. We're always negative towards WWE. They always had a plan, or they saw someone else was going to have that plan and just went, oh, let's just do that ourselves. We don't know exactly how it worked, but regardless, we are getting NXT in your house, 7th of June. And as we were discussing, disregarding this coming weekend, after that, 3 of the next 4 weekends have pay-per-views on them. You've got the Double or Nothing for AEW, then, thankfully, a week off, then in your house, NXT, and then Backlash. It's a good time to be a wrestling fan.
There's lots of stuff going on. You're not going to be short of things to watch at the very least. Let's wrap things up with our final story. Rachel Ellering is also known as Rachel Evers in WWE. She's the latest released NXT Performance Center wrestler. She was let go as part of the Black Wednesday cuts on the 15th of April, but it wasn't announced. A bunch of NXT releases apparently weren't announced, and we might be expecting more to emerge as time passes. But she was let go. She confirmed this herself on social media last night, releasing something of a comeback video at the same time. A little bit about her. She'd been under WWE contract since January 2019. Before that, she'd competed in the Mae Young Classic. She'd done a bunch of other NXT spots. She didn't actually make it onto television as part of her most recent NXT run. She unfortunately suffered a torn ACL last July and has been sidelined by that ever since. But she's out of the company now. She's the daughter, of course, of Paul Ellering, who was the Road Warriors manager and Authors of Pain manager. She's only 27 years old, plenty left for her to do in the pro wrestling world, lots of potential. I think she'll be just fine. A wrestler like that goes through, they can become a staple on the indies. Worth noting as well that her real life partner, Cassius Ohno, was released as part of all this as well. Maybe they'll do something cool together somewhere else in wrestling. Either way, best of luck to her. She will find a place, I am sure.
I always find these releases even more heartbreaking when they don't really get the chance to show themselves that much on WWE, and that's what I felt watching that Rachel Ellering video. Like you say, she's got plenty of time left. I wouldn't rule out her returning to NXT in the future, to be honest. But it's a shame. It's more frustrations for wrestling fans. Yes, a lot of people are like, well, who is she? I've never heard of her. Why should I care? Well, because she could have been one of the future stars of NXT, and she may.
Because she's a human.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, these people are monsters who are like, I don't know who that is. Have you no empathy whatsoever? I hate these people.
Yes, exactly. I have no doubt, though, that both her and Cassius Ohno will do spectacularly away from wrestling. Not away from wrestling, sorry, away from WWE. Yeah. Like you say, once wrestling resumes, no doubt that they will not struggle exactly to get bookings. Yeah. But as we always say when we report these stories, please do support your favourite wrestlers by buying their merch or just, supporting them on social media. However you can do it, it is always much appreciated in this very, very difficult time. But best of luck to her in the future and to Cassius Ohno, of course. Right, let's move on to your Twitter questions at WhatCulture WWE, of course, if you want to get in touch. Edward Shirazhan starts us off today. Legend. Edward says, in honour of the basketball match between the Street Profits and the Viking Raiders, who would be on your basketball team from the current WWE crop of superstars?
Oh, current crop of superstars. If it was all time, I would say Dennis Rodman, obviously, for his time in WCW. Oh, man. Big lads, tall guys. Big Show, he's tall. Who else is tall? Braun Strowman's tall. Damian Priest is tall. Give me Dijakovic. Apparently, I think used to be like a college basketball player. Give me that guy. I just want big lads and maybe like one little Spud Webb type guy crawling around making plays and doing stuff. Who's the shortest? Drake Maverick. There we go.
Yeah, I think you've kind of covered a lot of the big guys there. What is his name? I always butcher his surname. Is it Amogbaheen? Who's in
Big NXT? Jordan.
Yeah. Obviously have him in there if I can, please. Ricochet, just for his high-flying ability. In fact, both of the two-fly crew, I'm sure they'd be great. And if I could sign someone else from another promotion, it wouldn't be Brody Lee, it wouldn't be a Lance Archer, it would be a Marco Stunt who, as I have watched recently, I would Space Jam into the greatest basketball player of all time.
Imagine Marco Stunt going up to contest a goddamn free throw or something.
This isn't a paid promotion. This is just a personal endorsement, by the way. But if you're in England, Space Jam's on Netflix, and if you don't watch it, in fact, watch it before watching The Last Dance, because it's the best basketball thing ever made. I'm just going to put it out there. It's so good.
Space Jam is great, and if you don't care for Space Jam, turns out I don't care for you as a person. So.
Exactly. Right, second question today. Well, it's not really a question. I just saw Darren O'Neill, a.k.a. @SalahGoatKing on Twitter, who tweeted this at us, and I just thought I'd use this as a bit of a jumping off point for a question to you, Andy. Darren says, WWE needs to add wrestlers/staff in the crowd. AEW has such a better presentation, and it's not even close. I've been, fighting with this take for quite some time, because I don't like seeing all these people shoved close together in AEW, even though obviously, as they pointed out last night, they're wearing those wristbands, they're doing the precautions, or as much as precautions as they are required to do, let's just say. Do you think it's something WWE could look into and could adopt? Because it really does genuinely add an atmosphere to Dynamite.
I think that my stance on this is that if you're against the kind of crowd thing, right, and these people standing X distance apart or whatever, then you have to be against wrestling as well, because people are crashing together in the ring, right? That's worse. That's worse than people standing 6 feet apart outside the ring. You've got to be for both or against both, as far as I'm concerned. That being said, I'm kind of it's a tough situation, because people just can't stop wrestling, right? Companies, it's not realistic, because companies like AEW, their existence is going to be threatened. They've got to keep going somehow. But I think WWE should take this step, is what I'm trying to say in this really long-winded manner. If you're going to have shows, man, why wouldn't you?
Yeah, I sense that they may, because the way it added to last night's show in particular, I seem to notice it last night. I just see WWE going, maybe for just for pay-per-views, who knows, but I can see it being adopted, and depends what they do as the rules change. I saw a thing last night, and I genuinely had to double check whether or not it was like an Onion article, which was them talking about football, or as our American viewers would call it, soccer, coming back, and players being asked to turn their faces away whilst they tackle someone. Unbelievable. The whole world is The Onion is becoming my official news source going forward, because I don't know what's real and what's not anymore. Ryan Golding, final question of the day. Ryan says, if Shawn Michaels has one more match left in him, who would you like to see him face from either AEW or WWE?
Man, I mean, the obvious answer for me is nobody, because I don't want to see it. But to answer the question in good faith, I think Adam Cole would be I think Johnny Gargano might be a popular answer, because Gargano loves Shawn Michaels. It's very evident in his work. But Adam Cole, to me, would be the most fun, man. He's just such a great personality, such a great sports entertainer, and I think he'd mesh really well with Shawn. As him versus Prime Shawn would be outrageous, wouldn't it?
The fact that they're starting promoting In Your House, by the way, by doing these dream matches, and they put that graphic up of Adam Cole and Bret Hart, I dread to think what's going on in the Hamflett household right now.
Oh my, he's ripped it off, mate.
I think Adam Cole, Johnny Gargano, Daniel Bryan, another name that really jumps into your mind. What I'd do is I'd book Shawn Michaels versus Dolph Ziggler, and then pull Dolph from the show at the last minute just to really break his heart, because I'm cruel like that. And then put, I don't know, Shawn Michaels versus Lance Archer, because everybody dies.
Yeah, fair enough.
Right, let's move on to today's and finally, and thank you to everyone who's been tagging myself, Andy Murray, and of course WhatCulture Wrestling in Mick Foley's post from last night, or as we're looking at it, the early hours of this morning. First of all, notable that yet again, if we can stick up a little image of it, Mick Foley has a Christmas tree up in his house, because of course he does, and he tweeted last night, feelings may be hurt, feathers may get ruffled, but this needs to be said, as he announced that Britt Baker is the greatest wrestling dentist ever. Wow. Sorry, Isaac Yankem, but Mick said she is the Bret Hart of wrestling dentists. And to be honest, considering what she's done in the last few months, it's hard to argue.
Yeah, she's great. She's great. Heavy shade on Mayor Glenville. What's he going to say about this, pal? She's really good, though.
What is his lecky bill going to be like if he's got a Christmas tree up all year round?
That sounds like a Mick problem.
He said all she needs to do is practice the Mick Foley smile now, which, could be interesting, I suppose.
Yeah, it could be. No, I like this. Little shout out from a legend to an up-and-comer. It's good stuff.
Exactly. Great work from Britt Baker, and lovely to hear from friend of the channel, Mick Foley, of course, as well. Let us know your thoughts on that and all of today's news stories in the comment section below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And subscribe to What Culture Wrestling on either iTunes, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts from, for daily wrestling podcasts. Join myself and the Dudley Boys later on today as we review the Wednesday Night War. And of course, live 4 p.m. BST here on YouTube, myself and the Dudley Boys will be dealing with the big wrestling issues, answering all of your questions and dealing with any breaking news. So make sure you join us for that one as well. Plus, let us know your thoughts and Twitter questions on Twitter at WhatCultureWWE. And whilst you're there, follow both of us. You can follow Andy Murray at
Andy H. Murray. The H stands for Yuck.
You can follow me at Adam Wilborn. Follow us all at WhatCultureWWE, as I said. But for now, my thanks to Andy Murray. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you soon.
See you later, guys.